How do you feel when others cry? Do you permit yourself to cry? Were well-placed emotions encouraged in the family that you grew up in? My name's David Tensen, and welcome to number 26 of the Everlasting Blessings from John's Gospel. As always, feel free to share this, tag your friends, and join the Facebook page. The link's in the description for this particular Everlasting Blessings group. We're reading today from John's Gospel, chapter 11, and we're reading about Lazarus. Lazarus being raised up from the dead by Jesus. You might be familiar with the account. So I'm going to read again from the Passion Translation paraphrase, and we're going to read a few verses from 32 to 37. So listen in, it's a great, put really wonderfully here in this paraphrase. When Mary finally found Jesus outside the village, she fell at his feet in tears and said, "Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died." And when Jesus looked at Mary and saw her weeping, and all her friends who were with her grieving, he shuddered with emotion and was deeply moved with tenderness and compassion. He said to them, "Where did you bury him?" "Lord, come with us and we'll show you," they replied. Then tears streamed down Jesus' face. Seeing Jesus weep caused many of the mourners to say, "Look how much he loved us." Yet others said, "Isn't this the one who opens blind eyes? Why didn't he do something to keep Lazarus from dying?" I don't know about you, but I find it interesting that human nature has hardly changed in like 2,000 years. One party reading his tears as empathy and compassion from a real place of love, and this other party is there, maybe uncomfortable with the whole situation, we don't know, but they point the finger and blame to say, well, you know, if he was that upset, maybe he should have done something about it. Amazing to see that nothing has changed. It's right there in the gospel. One party has their eyes on Jesus and his heart of compassion. The other party has their eyes on the whole issue of death and can't see what's right in front of them, life itself. So may you be blessed today, friends, with eyes that are able to see beyond the tomb of death into tear-filled eyes and compassion that Jesus has for the lost and the broken and the suffering, because there's nothing wrong with mourning and grief. Grief takes as long as it takes. But my prayer is that you would keep your eyes on Jesus during this time, like Mary did, and not shift your eyes to moaning and complaint against God. Mourning is healthy. Moaning, not so much. I pray that the eyes of your heart are open to the eyes of compassion and empathy Jesus has for those he loves and came for. I bless you today with knowing that Jesus loves you deeply and is moved by tears, by the heart of those that seek him and believe him. Beloved, there is nothing that you can bring up by way of emotions and tears that will push Jesus away. This is a demonstration that people are desperate coming to him. Grief takes as long as it takes. And please understand this about grief too. I'm just going to add this at the end. Grief doesn't have to be the loss of a loved one only. Grief can happen when you lose a job, when you lose physical ability, when you lose a relationship, when you lose goods and things that are dear to you and important to you. Grief can come, the trauma of loss can come through all types of stuff. And I think the best place to have your worst days is in Jesus' presence. I love that he didn't just run and change things straight away. And he was very comfortable with them crying and mourning in front of him. I don't know how impressed he was with the moaning, but the mourning and the emotions that these women brought to him, he was happy to sit in for quite some time, because he didn't leave straight away for Lazarus, as you'll read. So, beloved, may we just not only have strength to mourn in grief with our eyes on him, but may we also be those who are understanding and in no rush but are happy to stay and can have the capacity to stay in the presence of those who are grieving loss without having to jump to fix it, without having all the answers, but to just be present. My name is David Tensen, and this is number 26 of the Everlasting Blessings from John's Gospel. As always, please feel free to tag your friends. Some may need to hear what I've spoken about today. Join the group, like this and share it. As you'll see, we have this Everlasting Blessings stuff. You can change your profile picture or even get this blessing on the LeaderHeart page, this video filter as well, if you're keen on that sort of thing. Bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. Shalom.